My husband begged me not to attend his law school graduation. I asked him why. He curled his lip. He said he didn't want anyone to know I was just a waitress. He said it coldly. He told me he would tell people I was dead. Here's the rephrased story in a natural, emotionally powerful, and conversational tone. Imagine this. 2 weeks before the biggest day of my husband's life, the day I'd sacrificed everything for, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Don't come. I don't want people knowing you're just a waitress." But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was finding out he'd spent the last year and a half telling everyone I was dead. You know, for months, I'd been planning for that graduation. I'd already asked for the day off from the diner, carefully chosen the best dress I owned, a simple navy blue one I'd bought secondhand, but had dry cleaned just for the occasion. I pictured myself there, in the audience, watching my husband walk across that stage, collecting the law degree I'd helped pay for with every single tip, every extra shift that left my feet literally bleeding. But he didn't want me there. Not for any logical reason, no limited seating, no scheduling conflict. He didn't want me there because I was just a waitress, and that, he said, embarrassed him in front of his classmates. Their families were lawyers, judges, people who mattered. Just a waitress, I echoed, the words a bitter poison on my tongue. Is that what I am to you now? He finally bothered to look up from his phone. And his face, there was no warmth, no flicker of recognition for the 3 years we'd been married, or the 6 years I'd spent pouring my entire life into supporting his dreams, while my own stayed packed away in a box under our bed. "Haley, be realistic," he said, his voice flat. "Everyone there will be from families with money and status. I can't have them meeting you and wondering why I married someone who serves pancakes for a living." That was it. That was the moment I finally got it. I wasn't just being sidelined, I'd been erased, long before he even dared to say it out loud. But to truly understand that moment, you need to know where the story really begins. You need to come with me to the place I spent most of my waking hours for 6 years. The life I thought meant something, before Samuel decided it was just an embarrassment he needed to hide. Riverside Diner. Corner of 5th and Morrison. You know the type of place. It perpetually smells of bacon grease and coffee that's been sitting on the burner a little too long. The vinyl booths are cracked, patched with duct tape in like 3 different colors. The jukebox in the corner? Only 70s hits, stuck on an endless loop of Eagles and Fleetwood Mac. It drives some customers nuts, but for others, it's pure nostalgia. The floor tiles are chipped where decades of foot traffic have worn them down to the concrete. And the fluorescent lights? They flicker every time it rains, which, in our city, is about 200 days a year. For 6 years, that diner was my kingdom. I knew every inch of that place, every single quirk, every malfunction, every tiny grace. I knew which booth had the wobbly table that always needed a folded napkin. I knew which coffee pot poured faster, which one would drip if you tilted it wrong. I knew the ice machine made this specific grinding sound for exactly 3 seconds before spitting out ice, and that the kitchen door squeaked unless you pushed it at just the right angle. But more than the place itself, I knew the people. Every single regular customer? I knew them by heart. Knew their order before they even opened their mouth. Knew their habits, their patterns, their small, human details. Professor Hicks, for example, 7:15 a.m. every single morning. Black coffee, 2 sugars, no cream. Always left exactly $2 on the table, folded in half like a tiny tent. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.